32 pounds. 29 in the back, they're all good. And chassis, tire pressure monitor. Let's see if there's anything of interest in here. As I said earlier, all the tire pressures are at the correct pressure, so I'm not really sure whether we have a malfunction or loss of data of some sort. I don't know. Not good. So ID3, whatever position that happens to be in, is not present. It's 4 initially. One of them is going to be missing, I assume, which is 3. I guess those are the ones that are registered, but perhaps it's not actually showing up. Let's go back. I assume ID3 isn't actually reporting the pressure. And it isn't. So yeah, obviously in the tire pressure control module itself, all the valve transmitters are actually registered, of course, right? But it's not seeing a valid pressure coming from. Should have changed this to any PSI. This is pretty much meaningless to me, but that's actually a good way of actually telling which tire you're actually dealing with, I guess. I could alter the tire pressure on the other 3, on all of them in fact, make them all different pressures, and then I would know what the pressure actually is, and then I'd know which tire I'm dealing with. Right. Okay. Well, in just looking at these numbers here, these look like the 2 front tires, left and right. I can't distinguish, but I suspect that's one of the rear, and one of the rear is actually missing. Again, left and right, I can't distinguish. But the 2 front tires are at 32 pounds, which I assume I'll do the conversion and add an overlay on this from kilopascals. Those are very, very close. I suspect that's 32 psi-ish. And I suspect that's very close, yeah, the difference in pressure, I suspect that's very close to 29 pounds as per the placard on the door jamb. So it looks like one of the rear is missing. So you can select from the data list there, guys. There's just where the low pressure threshold is there. And obviously none of them are below the low pressure threshold. And you can see obviously our defect is the one is actually not reporting the pressure at all. I guess different types of transmitters. I believe I have 0 experience with these. As I've said, I've never had a car with tire pressure monitoring before. I think some have a slug that moves in a coil to generate the power, let's call it, needed in order to report, and I think some actually may have an internal battery. I don't know, you guys can correct me in the comments. I'll need to do a bit of reading in the manual here to see what the status of these things actually are, but yeah, altering the pressure, I should be able to distinguish which one is which, as I mentioned. Since we are fortunately only missing one, we can use that technique, I suppose. And again, all of them are above the threshold. Yeah, also available, as I mentioned, I may or may not have mentioned, is the tire, in addition to the pressure, is the temperature itself, which does make sense if the system knows the temperature. This is Canada, we can have 60 degrees Celsius fluctuation between summer and winter, so obviously that's going to affect the tire pressure. Hopefully you've put your winter tires on, and anyway, it's a moot point at that point, but obviously the temperature is going to directly affect the pressure that the tire is going to read. Yeah, and any serious fluctuation in temperature would alter the pressure. I don't know if it would take into consideration the temperature fluctuation in order to correct the pressure. But in any case, the temperature is provided there, and you can see in my garage here, again, you guys see this thermometer on the wall quite a bit. It's about 12 degrees in the garage, and they are all reporting close to that, 10, 12, 12, and minus 40, clearly a default value. It is not minus 40 in the garage. And it shows battery voltage. I really don't know what this means, to be honest. If anybody does know, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Yeah, no reset on the voltage level there. Looks like I haven't selected one, but I don't really know what that means. No reset, to be quite honest. Again, we've got further study to be done. There's going to be no really much more I can do on this. Looks like I have a failure of one of the tire pressure transducers, and I'll have to look into getting that sorted. In all honesty, we're on the edge of November here, guys, and I'm going to be transitioning into my snow tires in the next couple of days / weeks anyway. So it's at this point it's really a moot point. But I was interested in showing you the facility that the Vpecker does have in this regard. That's really the intention of this video. And yeah, it is not the tech stream, obviously, but it's pretty good. Like the amount of facility that has in here for this little Prius C, the amount of parameters it can actually read is amazing. There's one other thing I want to check in here. Just before you'll see on the banner page here, guys. This is basically the page when you first start the system. There's also hot functions which I've downloaded, and I've never been into this page, so let's see what the hell it's all about. Okay, after multiple attempts to click on this, on the TPMS function, something's happening, and it is giving me a Toyota option. Tire pressure warning light reset. ID registration. Okay. I take it that is if you purchase a new pressure transducer, tire pressure valve transducer. Maybe I'm not getting the terminology right there, guys, but I think you know what I'm talking about. The entire pressure sensor. You would have to register its code, and perhaps this gives you facility to do so. So I don't have one, obviously, but let's just click on the page and see what it says. Okay. Registration will fail if the system is still in process of initialization. Okay. I'm going to pack it in at this point because I don't want to buggerize it, because I don't have any transducer replaced, as I said. I'd have to get one first. But there is facility, obviously, in here. Whether or not it would function, guys, I don't know at this point, but there is some facility there. Anyway, that's it. So that's the end of the tire pressure saga for now. More of this to follow, I can assure you, because I'm a cheap bastard and I want to make at least an attempt at sorting it myself. That's it for now, boys. Cheers.